We are now going to have a time and a story for all ages. This is called The Tale of the Sands, and it comes to us from the Sufi practices of the Maghreb, especially in Tunisia. A stream born from a spring in the mountains flowed down through forests and ravines. It ran through valleys full of fruit trees, giving drink to trees and plants, humans and animals. It felt that its destiny was to quench the thirst and nourish the life of all beings it came across. That feeling gave it a sense of deep satisfaction and pride. But suddenly, one day, the valley through which the stream flowed became a desert, and its waters stagnated and disappeared into the sands. The stream was determined to continue on its way and fulfill what it thought of as its destiny. So it poured its waters again and again into the sands, resolved to cross the desert at all costs. In the desert, there were almost no creatures, so it felt it could not quench their thirst and nourish anything with life. This, the stream felt, condemned it to a life that was not only dull, but meaningless. But try as it might, the stream's waters disappeared almost immediately into the golden sands, as if by an enchantment. Finally, the stream heard a voice inside telling it, "The wind crosses the desert." It did not know whether that voice coming from within was the voice of the desert itself or the stream's own spirit. But without giving it time to find out, the voice spoke again. "If you strive to cross the desert as you cross the ravines and valleys, your waters will sink into the sands again and again, or you'll turn into a swamp." "No, never," thought the stream, which was terrified by the idea of immobility and not being able to offer water to beings that needed it. "To cross the desert, you'll have to abandon your old ways of doing, seeing, and understanding things in order to reach the other side," the voice went on. "You will have to become one with the wind in order to cross the sands." "But how do I become one with the wind?" asked the stream. "By letting the wind absorb you," replied the voice, which came with serenity from within. The stream didn't like that. It had never been absorbed by anything before, and it feared losing its identity. In fact, its identity and its destiny, which was part of its identity, was all it had. "But if the wind takes me in, I'll cease to be me," protested the stream. "Well," said the voice, "you'll cease to be the you that you are now. But that's not the real you. The real you is your essence, not your form. When the wind takes you in, your form will change, but your essence will remain the same. You'll not be a stream, but you'll still be water. Invisible, but water nonetheless. And then when the wind has crossed the desert, you'll rain down from the sky and become a stream again. Or maybe you'll be a big, fast-flowing river." And the stream felt that somewhere, at some time, it had once been invisible water. And it thought that under the circumstances, it would have to choose between that or becoming a bog. So seeking refuge in the warmth of the sun, it let itself evaporate until suddenly it felt as if it were flying. And the wind carried the vapor in its arms across the desert to the blue mountains which the stream had seen in the distance from the valley. And suddenly, the water vapor felt itself regaining its liquid aspect. It abandoned the clouds in a long and placid fall until it reached the ravines and regained its former shape as a stream in search of new horizons and new beings with thirst to quench and life to nourish. And now it understood its own essence and identity. Meanwhile, in the distance, the wind was blowing in the desert sands, and as they brushed the ground and each other, the sands sang together. It's our destiny to make known the essence and identity of every being. That is why, among the Sufis, it is said that the way in which the river of life is to continue, its journey is written in the sands. The end.
Our next hymn is number 16, Simple Gifts. And you will see we have an extra set of verses. So if you need those, they are up on the screen. I'll start that again. Tis a gift to be simple, tis a gift to be free, tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in a place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. Our delight, till by turning, turning we come round right. 'Tis a gift to be gentle, 'tis a gift to be fair, 'tis a gift to wake and breathe the morning air. And when we find ourselves down the path we choose, 'tis the gift we pray we're ne'er come to lose. When true simplicity is gained, bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn, turn will be our delight, till by turning, turning we come round right. 'Tis a gift to be knowing, 'tis a gift to be kind, 'tis a gift to wait and hear another's mind. And when we speak our feelings, it may come true. 'Tis a gift for me and a gift for you. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn, turn will be our delight, till by turning, turning we come round right. 'Tis a gift to be knowing, 'tis a gift best of all, 'tis a gift come to believe. 'Tis better to give than it is to receive. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we shan't be ashamed. To turn, turn will be our delight, till by turning, turning we come round right.
Our reading today comes from Emergent Strategy, Shaping Change, Changing Worlds by Adrienne Marie Brown. And you can see that my rabbit loves this book so much, he has eaten knowledge from it. This section is called Principles of Emergent Strategy. In the study and practice of emergent strategy, there are core principles that have emerged that guide me in learning and using this idea and method in the world. I gather them here with the expectation that they will grow. Small is good, small is all. The large is a reflection of the small. Change is constant. Be like water. There is always enough time for the right work. There is a conversation in the room that only these people at this moment can have. Find it. Never a failure, always a lesson. Trust the people. If you trust the people, they become trustworthy. Move at the speed of trust. Focus on critical connections more than critical mass. Build the resilience by building the relationships. Less prep, more presence. What you pay attention to grows. I don't know about you, but as I alluded to during my joy in our time of joys and sorrows, over the last several days, I have been mesmerized by photographs from the Artemis II mission. There is something particularly moving to me about seeing pictures of our planet taken by the mission crew. I am moved to awe and a great sense of connectedness when I behold views of Earth from space, knowing that in the history of our kind, only a handful of people have witnessed the views of Earth while they themselves are in space. What a marvelous thing it is to be alive at a time when we are able to know what our planet looks like from space. What a humbling and beautiful perspective. In the thousands and thousands of years that we have existed, I wonder how many people have wondered what it would be like to behold our planet from the perspective of the moon or the stars. How many people held out hope that one day, somehow, we would develop the technology to get there, knowing that it would happen many, many years beyond their lifetimes. There is something marvelous about hoping for radical and audacious things like that, about beholding views of clouds and land masses and seas from space. I like to imagine that when I see these pictures, I am looking with my ancestors' eyes, experiencing the wonder of it with them. I try to remember to do this, to practice understanding these aspects of our mother planet as miraculous. Sometimes my practice has a ways to go in this regard. Land, oceans, clouds. Sometimes we interact with all of these so frequently, they may take on qualities of the ordinary. They can seem like everyday parts of our existence. When my car is covered in dust in the summertime, the first thing that comes to mind is not usually the memory of land masses on Earth as viewed from space, but rather a sense of embarrassment that my car seems to gather dirt at a far higher rate than other cars in the area. It can be hard for me to remember that something as normal as soil is magnificent when viewed from a different perspective. Not even from space, just a different perspective here. I think I am also moved by the Artemis mission because of the way that people from so many parts of the world, from countless different cultures and personal backgrounds, were watching and excited. It feels rare and beautiful to have an event that gets people thinking of humanity in a collective sense, of our planet, of four people representing us out there in the universe. It feels even more rare and beautiful in these times to share in beholding our planet from a wider perspective, where we cannot distinguish borders. For me, at least, on one particular day recently, there was this sharp juxtaposition between these miraculous photos sent back to Earth by the Artemis II crew, our beautiful planet like a jewel in space, and the sinking feeling alongside it, wondering, is this it? Is this the day our president uses nuclear weapons to wipe out an entire civilization? These two possibilities were looming before me. One, a vision of a planet where we do live together in harmony, without borders of many kinds to divide us. A vision both searingly hopeful and seemingly more out of reach with every passing day. The other, terrible, feeling nearer every day, the escalation of wars, greed, power amassed by a few cruel people, but sanctioned by enough of our kind to let them get away with remaking our world in their own image, leading us down a path of destruction. I could not help but wonder, which possibility will we embrace? Which possibility are we embracing? Who is we? It sometimes feels inevitable that humanity will embrace the latter. Like our problems are so vast, so unrelenting that despite our best efforts, we will succumb to them. Despair can be a tantalizing companion in such times. It can seem futile to try to prevent the worst from happening, easier to simply live as best we can while it happens. Even if we are determined to fight for a better world in the ways that we can, it can sometimes feel difficult to believe that one may ever arrive. We sang an old Shaker hymn just now that has been on my mind for some weeks as I have contemplated this monthly theme of possibility. And Jordan, I'm actually going to ask if you will play it again for us and we can sing as we can together, just the first verse and the refrain of hymn 16. If you don't know it, that's okay.
'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend we shan't be ashamed. To turn will be our delight, till by turning we come round right.
Thank you. There was for me a poetry to having this hymn on the mind during the time of the Artemis II mission. To watch human bodies unbound from the forces of gravity on our planet, free in a way few of our kind have ever experienced. To watch them go up and turn, coming round right, coming down again in the place just right. In some ways it looked so simple, and yet we know it's so complex. I found myself putting this old hymn in conversation with the work of Adrienne Marie Brown in Emergent Strategy. She writes, quote, "How we are at the small scale is how we are at the large scale. The patterns of the universe repeat at scale. There is a structural echo that suggests two things. One, that there are shapes and patterns fundamental to our universe, and two, that what we practice at small scale can reverberate to the largest scale." To me, this hymn is a reminder of that principle, that how we are and what we practice at the small scale reverberates to the large scale. I believe that this hymn can be a precious reminder that when we pay attention to the small, simple things, embracing small possibilities, whether good or bad, we create a path for the larger possibilities to come into being. If we tend to hopelessness and despair, we shall almost certainly find that they come to pass. But if we tend the possibility of a better world, even in small ways, cherishing the dirt, the droplets of rain, the atmosphere, we will make way for that world to come into being. Many organizers and change makers I look up to have frequently shared the wisdom that we don't need to pay attention to each one of the world's possibilities in order to make an impact. We just need to pay close attention to one thing and act on it in order to embrace what can be and impact many, many things outside of that one. I wonder how many people and other beings in the history of the world have contributed to our species being able to travel to the moon. It is a task far too massive for any one person to achieve by ourselves. We need each other in order to achieve that possibility. I wonder how many people have chased and embraced possibility to bring us to this moment, the moment when members of our species have traveled further from home than ever before. How many people dreamed, struggled, resisted, taught, theorized, built, fed, clothed, and housed each other over millennia for us to build the base of knowledge and experience needed to go to the moon and back. I wonder how many other beings on this planet were part of the process of inspiration, dedication, and knowledge building. I wonder how many people tended to a single area of possibility, maybe one that seemed to have nothing to do with leaving the bounds of gravity, and intending to that possibility wound up helping us travel beyond our planet so that we might behold it in its splendor. How we are at the small scale is how we are at the large scale. What we practice at a small scale can reverberate to the largest scale. So what will you practice today, tomorrow, and in the days to come? What simple possibilities will you embrace so that one day we may come down right in that valley of love and delight? I don't think it needs to be something grand. Perhaps, for me, it is enough to pay deep attention to something like the dirt on my car. In doing so, to wonder, how can I take care of our earth? How can I stop oil, heavy metals, pesticides from being unleashed in our soil? How can I be in solidarity with indigenous peoples caretaking the land? How can we tear down walls along borders to make room for migration of human and non-human beings? How, one day, might we explore the soil of a distant planet respectfully? Our ancestors did not know with certainty that we would ever leave our planet. They did not know with certainty that we would one day be able to fly to the moon and back and behold our world from a different, wider perspective. We do not know with certainty what our future holds, what futures will greet our descendants. But we must believe, as our benevolent, wise ancestors did, in the possibility of a kinder, more curious, more liberated world. By paying attention to the small possibilities, to simple gifts, we will help shape what in Jewish tradition we call Olam Haba, the world to come. Because of our choices, because of the possibilities that we embrace here and now, our descendants may know the gift of being simple, free, in that place of love and delight. And Amen, Selah, blessed be, Kenya Hiratzon, may it be so, may our descendants know a free and liberated world, a loving world of delight, where we can embrace the simple gifts.